Welcome to Overthinker. A question on my mind today, forever, and always. Do I have these false faiths and morals that I try to believe or hold true to just because I think that it's right, or just because without those things, I would just simply crumble and fall apart, to put it mildly. Um, so I think about this one a lot when I think about things that I'm the type of person that, well, let's go back to what I was going to say. So I think about it when I think of certain beliefs that I have, like don't murder people, sort of thing. Like I believe that that's bad, right? When in fact it's a thing that happens in the world, and sometimes people do it because somebody's bad, or they want to gain power over them, or whatever. It's just a thing that happens, right? And then other people decide if they want to label it good or bad. But I label it bad for some reason, is what I'm trying to say, right? So like that seems like a rational thought to me for some reason, but in reality, like I could, like, is it like bad necessarily? Because like if somebody does somebody in and takes all their stuff, that's a good thing for them, right? So long as there's no outside consequences from the law and stuff like that, which there are now, obviously. But my point is that, like, why do I believe that that people shouldn't do that in general, right? Like, there's no real reason to believe that, other than the fact that, like, it seems most people believe it, right? Like, the vast majority of people think that certain things are just like no-nos in general. But that's what I mean, is like, are these things, like, is that real? Or is that just something I'm ascribing to it, or whatever the word might be? That I'm giving it this value of good or bad, plus or minus, and then, you know, I mean, the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, obviously the world would fall apart if people didn't have any, ideas of good or bad. But the false faith thing goes even further for me, because, like, I believe all those things, like I said, uh, cautiously. And I have to believe those things because I have to believe in a higher purpose. Now, let me just preface this by saying that I don't believe in anything specifically when it comes to, like, whether specific religions or callings or whatever you might want to call it. I don't believe in anything specifically, but I have to believe that there is something, right? Because when I look at I was talking about purpose the other day. When I look at, like, the purpose of an individual, or the purpose of the world or society or of the world, from small, from the individual to the grand scale of, like, the entire world, right? And, like, I read all this stuff, I see all this stuff about how societies rise and then they fall, societies rise and then they fall, murder happens, murder doesn't happen, et cetera, et cetera. And it's these endless cycles of, like nobody finding the right answer. It just always ends up the same every single time, right? So if that's the case, and I'm going with the nihilistic view, and everything's pointless, then, or everything's going to be the same, therefore it is pointless to try or do or think or say anything. That, if you have that view, which I don't know if I do or don't, I guess, but there's no reason for anything, which I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. Now I will say what I'm thinking. Like, wouldn't everybody just like wouldn't all depressed people just like want to kill themselves? Like, wouldn't that just happen, right? If there truly was no purpose, you know, it's like there's no purpose. Everything ends up the same. You cannot make any difference, and if you do make a difference on the grand scale, your society will fall and everything will end up the same as it has anyway. So it you know. So again, I have to ask the question, like, why do I believe in these things? Like, not stealing from people, not murdering people, trying to be kind to others, sort of thing. You know, there's no real reason to believe those things. And for some reason, I have those deep gut, I don't know what you want to call it. But I guess that's what I'm saying is it's almost like I'm putting faith in in there being a reason for those things. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be a reason that I feel it so deeply, right? Because I am the type of person that I see the world through a crap filled lens. you know, I see the crap pile through a crap filled lens. It just makes it look even worse. Perhaps I'm doing it to myself, but I'm the type of person that I see a lot of pointlessness, and there's not a lot of purpose on the grand scale to things. So I guess I have to believe that for some reason there is a reason that I still hold true to certain morals and beliefs, and I guess that's just faith, is what that is, right? I guess if it keeps me going, can't be that bad.